Welcome to Unity Bay Area, Houston. Woo! We got a lot of hubbub in the house today, with everybody having stickers to represent the many, many teams that are represented in this ministry and all the ways that we volunteer. Paul reminded me I'm actually considered officially on every team, so I figured I shouldn't put stickers everywhere, though. That's enough. What we really want to do is to say today is a day that is really about acknowledging you and all the ways that this ministry thrives through the volunteers. And welcome here. And those of you joining us online, let us know the ways that you've volunteered in this process, too, because we know many of you, though you're not here today, you've been with us at various times. So whether you're watching this now or at a later time, let us know the ways that you've been engaged and involved in this ministry, because this ministry is built by you. It thrives and it lives according to who you are and what you bring to our beautiful experiences here that we all create together. So thank you. And we're going to have a lot more to share about that as we go forward. But right now, let's begin with acknowledging our affirmation. I begin my journey of forgiveness. Together, I begin my journey of forgiveness. And we can just think for a moment, any place that we have forgiveness that wants to just set us free. We feel that, and we feel the power of that in our own being. And let's share our joy as we rise together and sing, thank you for this day, Spirit. Take it away, Keith and Patty. Woohoo!
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. My fabulous life. My fabulous life. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful friends. My wonderful friends. Thank you for this church, Spirit. Thank you for this church. Thank you for this church, Spirit. Thank you for this church. This loving church. This loving church. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing 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 day.
That was embarrassing. I tell you, I get caught up in it. I come to church and I'm starting to just get my groove, and then I forget I gotta go talk. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I'm a little embarrassment. I am Katie Ralston, now you know. So, and if you ever want to volunteer for Platform, it's very forgiving. See, you can make little goofies every now and then. No one minds here. You're not going to get judged. But anyway, yes, I'm Katie, and I'm so glad to be here today. I'm always glad to be here, but this is a really special day. So let us begin our service together as we affirm our statement of truth. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in me, God the good omnipotence. Prayer is the basis on which unity was founded. Our prayer chaplains will pray for you, our prayer chaplains will pray for your request for 30 days. Your prayers are also sent to Silent Unity to pray for at the same time. So you got double prayer power going on whenever you have prayers. We do have prayer request forms. We're going to have them in the back. They're usually over there by prayer rooms over there. And also You can fill out a prayer request on your offering envelopes, and you can go online and do that too. So our prayer chaplains today for in-person prayer, if you want some one-on-one prayer, are going to be Sarah Thompson. Sarah, raise your hand. There's Sarah. And Roger Moorfield, right back there. Okay, great. And yes, so for you digital viewers, if you have a prayer request, you got a bulletin at 7 a.m. this morning, so you can click on the button there. You can go to our site, you can click on the button that says request prayer in the bulletin, or you can leave a private message through the Facebook Messenger. And then after service today, Roger will be leading a prayer circle right here in front, and Sarah will be offering one-on-one prayer right back here. So please join in prayer as you're called. Now, please join Reverend Kyra for our opening prayer.
It's always a privilege to pray, to come together and to hold the space and the consciousness for this ministry, for this world. And we are truly opening ourselves to that presence, that one presence and one power right here, right now. That infinite omnipotence, omniscience, omnipresence that is ever flowing good in and through our heart, mind, and being into this world through each of us. For we are the expression of that one presence in its many beautiful forms and configurations. The magnificence of the diversity within the oneness is such a beautiful gift. And we say thank you. Thank you, God, for each light, each presence, each being in this world. May we all know the peace and the harmony and the joy of being at one with you, to feel that divine presence flowing through us, the consciousness of love and light, wisdom and grace that moves through every creature of our planet, whether they have fins or fur or scales, whether they have feathers or whether they are deep within the earth, or whether they are walking upon many legs or two, or in every form, every creature. We are so grateful for each one, and every plant that blesses us with its beauty and its wonder and its vitality and nutrition, and every aspect of our beloved earth, every mineral and every part of all that exists. This is a breathing entity, our beloved Gaia. We bless her and give thanks for her union with us to continually renew and revitalize, like the springtime that we're moving through into summer. We bring forth the true fruits of our earth and the fruits of the divine through us. And we are grateful, grateful, grateful that we can be here now and lift up those that are struggling, that are suffering, those that have been experiencing anything less than love in our world. Those whose hearts have been hardened, let's experiencing them softening, accepting and loving and allowing each one to be a perfect expression of the divine here and now. And we are grateful for everyone within this ministry that has given themselves to be present here with us this day and throughout the history of our time together. All those who have built this ministry through their love and their presence and their devotion and their actions. We are grateful, grateful, grateful. And we feel that divine connection, that our hearts go out and connect with all those that have been a part of this and continue to allow this ministry, this truth teaching to flourish and fulfill its mighty purpose, to open our hearts, expand our minds, inspire our lives, and empower us to be fully present here now with one another. And we are grateful, grateful, grateful that you, infinite oneness, divine presence, Wankantanka, Allah, great mystery. There are so many names that we know you by. And each one is just a representative of an aspect of this infinite source. And we are grateful. All the ways that you give of yourselves, and we give back in honor and celebration. And so it is. Amen. And yes.
Thank you, Reverend Kyra. Hear me? That was beautiful. So we have some announcements. All right. This week's announcements and all links to participate can be found in your Sunday bulletin, which went out this morning. So for our in-person folks today, please visit the connection tables to show your interest. Those will be in the foyer. Access to our updated newsletters and bulletins are easily found on our new website, www.unitybayareahouston.org, by clicking on the orange newsletter button at the top of the page, or you can call 281-554-2450 and leave a message requesting event details. The planning committee for Kyra's silver anniversary party will be held on Zoom Tuesday, June 24th at 6:30 p.m. Oh. Yeah, just yeah. We're good. Okay. It said June, but I'm gonna say, so Tuesday, May 24th at 6:30 p.m. That's coming up. If you'd like to attend, please text Ellen at 713-837-6990 or click the button in your e-bulletin. Actively seeking decoration and setup team for this June 25th event. So May 24th planning, June 25th event. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Prayer Empowerment Process. That's a 5-week Wednesday class that's starting on June 1st at 7 p.m. Each week, you'll have the opportunity to learn about and experience unity prayer in your life. This class is open to the congregation, but it's specifically for our renewing and new prayer chaplains. And now Ellen has a little announcement, big announcement.
Hi, everybody. So we are all invited to a wedding at 5 o'clock on June 4th here, which is a Saturday. Rebecca and Thomas are getting married, Thomas Rogers and Rebecca Marina. It's at 5 p.m. And the phone number is there. It's also in your bulletin to RSVP. There's also a link you can click in your e-bulletin and your newsletter that you can email her directly. The only request is that that we have your RSVP so we can plan for food and seating and whatever by June 1st, which happens to be a Wednesday. The second announcement, which is not approved or anything, along with the fact that I don't know when May and June are, and to me, right now they're just the same. They're Moon or J or something. And I guess there's a third thing. I want to thank all of the people who truly love me that have texted me, emailed me, called me, and corrected me about June and May not being the same month. I really appreciate that because I need it apparently all the way up to Sunday. As a part of our process with all of these sticky notes and the wonderful things that Kyra and Amy are going to have to share with you, there was a magic piece to the puzzle that I left at home, unbeknownst to anyone, until 5 minutes before church started. I had little books, so if you're interested in learning more about any of the groups or want to know more, please talk to the team leaders. Here's what I'm going to encourage as I stand up on my tiptoe on my one good foot, so you know that I mean it. In the e-bulletin and in your newsletter, at the very bottom, there's a place that says unity and community or connecting to unity. All of the team leaders and all of the groups have a link in there. You can click on that link and automatically connect with the person who's in charge of the thing that you'd like to know more about. And I guess we'll just use those cute little books I bought for some other time.
Ellen, thank you for everything you do. I know you do a lot. We are hosting a blood drive here on June 5th. Our goal is to have at least 15 successful donors. We encourage donors to schedule an appointment so we'll know how many staff people we need or resources that are needed for the drive. Now, donors can schedule their own appointments online by clicking the button. There's a button in the e-bulletin that went out, so you'll see that button. You can do it right there. And all successful donors will receive a free beach towel. They actually are pretty cute. I haven't gotten the current one, but I've gotten them in the past when I've given blood. My hoodie's the favorite thing I got, though. And kind of an Astro shirt. That was a good one, too. Anyway, they give you stuff. And you really are giving the gift of life. The blood supplies are dangerously low right now. So if you've never done it before, think about it, because you could save someone's life with your blood donation. June 7th is the next meeting of Unity Men at Noby Public House at 6:30 and Unity Women's Ministry and Potluck right here in our gathering room at 6 p.m. So that's June 7th. It's fun. The woman will be joined by Cynthia Alts. Am I saying her name right? Cynthia Alts? From Coalition to Combat Human Trafficking. We'll be assembling hygiene bags for homeless and possibly trafficked people. Please bring a dish to share, and together we'll make a difference. Shining from Within, number 6, with our own Don Pence. That's going to be held Saturday, June 11th. And the topic this time is caring for the light within. And here's what Don has to say about that. How are you at asking for help? What do you do to take care of yourself? This workshop walks us through identifying and distinguishing wants and needs. We look at what happens when wants and needs are confused or ignored. We've all done that, right? Through self-awareness and self-care, we work towards spiritual integrity. Each workshop is $35 with a fixed income discount available. Registration will end on Tuesday, June 7th. And you may sign up in the foyer or click the RSVP button in your e-bulletin. And the summer will be welcomed on June 18th at 7 p.m. on our labyrinth. I know, right? It's beautiful out there. Join Jihad Powell and the Unity Labyrinth drummers for this special evening. Now, please join me for our vision, mission, values, and affirmation. Our vision is a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of a shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is to inspire minds, awaken hearts, and empower lives through the teachings of Jesus Christ and other expressions of universal truth. In all that we are and all that we live, we value unconditional love, connection, authenticity, inclusivity, trust, and compassion. We are living relevant spirituality now.
Please rise. 1, 2, 3, 4. I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the child in you. I see the sweetness in you. I see the softness in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic, power, pure sweet love. I see the goodness in you. I see the wisdom in you. I see the strength in you, and so it is.
that you are an angel full of magic, power, and pure sweet love. I see the grace that's in you. I see the courage in you. I see the heart that's in you, and so it is. I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the heart that's in you, and so it is. I see the power in you, and so it is.
Okay. Your presence here is precious to us all. Thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning. We know some folks here are joining us for the first time, and we thank you for checking Unity Bay Area Houston out. Now, if you'd like more information about our community and Unity teachings, you may connect with a greeter. Greeters, do you want to raise your hands if we have any new people here yet? Ah, there's Domingo in the back. Anybody else greeting today? Maria, and Domingo and Maria. If you'd like to connect with a greeter, let me find my spot, after the service, or contact us through Messenger on our Facebook page, Unity Bay Area Houston. If you're looking for a spiritual place to be renewed and lifted, we would love to welcome you. Now, if you're here for the first time, please raise your hand. Do you have anybody here for the first time? It's okay. We won't bite. No? No? No first times. Okay. Well, then maybe you've been here a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. Yes? No? Yes? Yes. Yeah. Oh, hi. Hi. Welcome back. Okay. Nice to see you again. Okay. Well, the 3rd time's the charm. Is this your 2nd or 3rd time? Yay! 3rd time's a charm. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Because you live in Texas City, right? Is that what you were telling me? Well, we're so glad you're here. Thanks. And after all, well, if you're new to us or a repeat visitor, we have a unique Unity gift to give you, and you just got yours. Thank you. And if you haven't gotten one before, maybe you didn't get it last time, you're too shy, you can always go and talk to the greeters after the service, and, you know, we don't care if it's on time or not, right? So now together we're going to share our welcome blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Now we're going to center in to receive our daily word with Sarah Thompson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sunday, May 22nd. Our word today is forgive. Our affirmation, I begin my journey of forgiveness. Unforgiveness is a heavy bag of rocks I carry on my shoulders. When I drop the bag and begin to set the rocks aside one by one, I embark upon a healing journey. God is with and within me on this journey as my constant support and strength. When forgiveness feels difficult, I need only return attention to Spirit's constant loving and accepting presence within me. Reestablishing my consciousness Reestablishing my conscious connection brings warm and welcoming acceptance. It is an important step in the unburdening process of forgiveness. I forgive others as well as myself. Knowing each act of forgiveness increases my freedom to live a happy and fulfilling life. And from Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, bear with one another, and if anyone has a complaint against another, forgive each other, just as the Lord has forgiven you. so you are also most forgiven. And in Spanish, perdonar. Comienzo mi camino del perdón. El no perdonar es como una carga de piedras puestas, pesadas, que llevo en mis hombros. Cuando dejo caer la carga y aparto las piedras una por una, inicio un viaje sanador. Dios está en mí y conmigo en este viaje como mi apoyo y mi fortaleza constante. Cuando se me hace dificultad perdonar, solo debo volver mi atención a la constante presencia del Espíritu Divino en mí, reestableciendo mi conexión consciente me llena de una compasión profunda y sincera. Tener presente mi vínculo divino con las demás es un peso importante en el proceso del perdón. Perdono a los demás y a mí misma, sabiendo que el acto de perdonar incremente me libertará para vivir una vida feliz y plena. Sean mutuamente tolerantes. Si alguno tiene una queja contra otro, perdónase de la misma manera que Cristo los perdonó. Gracias.
Let me be in your stillness. Let me be in the very mind of God. Let me listen to your wisdom. Let me know which road to take. Still my mind, fill my soul, heal my heart, and make me whole. Let me rest in your kindness. Let me rest in your loving arms. Let me feel you so I may know you. Make me one with you. Make me one with you.
And we feel the power. We feel the resonance. And the vibration of light and wholeness within us. The truth that we are always one with God. One with that infinite divine essence of us. When we feel that union of spirit and that union of light and life within us, we breathe in and know that it is the infinite, the divine, the powerful presence that is breathing us. And as we let go, we let go of any resistance to experiencing the true magnificence of our own being, the greatness that we are, the light in this world. For we are truly a light in our world right here and right now. We open ourselves to recognize that our very being is a gift, that our essence and our willingness to serve creates a movement of spirit through us that unites heart to heart and soul to soul. And we begin to relax into this now moment, to feel the joy of our own being, the peace that is in our soul, that we may serve from that place of peace and harmony and joy, that we may live in alignment with the highest expression and the highest good for all. And we relax even more deeply into this now moment, knowing that every breath we take is being breathed through us, bringing forth the very particles of God into and through all of the experiences of life. There is no place we can be where God is not. And we feel a deep relaxation within us at this knowing. And that the gifts that we came into this world with are gifts of spirit, gifts of truth, gifts of life energy, and the gift of love, of being a pure vessel for love, to share itself, to harmonize our world, to bring greater peace. And so as we rest in this love and in this light and in this truth, we feel and we listen and we experience the beauty and the wonder and the awe of the opportunity to be here now in service to the greater good. Let us rest and experience in the silence. We feel the power of the divine that moves through us each. We recognize that we are lifted in vibration and frequency together to expand the consciousness of this planet, to unify with all that is, in ways that bring greater peace and harmony. And all that we are and all that we will ever be is in service. And we are grateful for the gifts that we are able to be in the world and share with our presence and our thoughts and our words and our actions. We are thankful here today for every being that joins us in this sacred circle, in this harmonic outflow of good into the world. And we say thank you. Thank you, sweet spirit. Thank you to the sweet spirit of each soul, each being that lights up our world. We are grateful for your magnificence. We see you. We know you. We know God as you. And in this and so much more, we give thanks. And so it is. And we invite you now to return to this sacred now and to this place where we share together these words of an Aramaic translation of our Lord's Prayer together. beloved oneness, breathing life of all. Holy is our essence. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire acts with ours and vibrates light to form. Fulfill this day all need for bread and insight. Forgiveness releases us, and we remember wholeness. We are free from inner and outer deception and walk your path with joy. You are the power of these truths, and unite my words, thoughts, feelings, and actions through this prayer. In gratitude, my heart knows it is so. Amen. And yes.
To live my life from my love I choose to be. My prayer for all I have to give is share gratefully. Whoa, my soul has found a home, and here my soul awakes. I share what I have, and that's what it takes. This place is more than a place. The truth we find source is our core. Much more than we can see or hold. More than a place. My soul is home. Is your soul home? From the truth I learned to live my life. From my love I choose to be. My prayer I have for all I give to give gratefully. Whoa, my soul has found a home, and here my soul awaits. I share what I have, and that's what it takes. Show 'em, Keith. To live my life, for my love I choose to be. My prayer for all I have to give and share gratefully. Whoa, my soul has found a home, and here my soul awakes. I share what I have, and that's what it takes. Say it with me. I share what I have, and that's what it. Do you have what it takes? I share what I have. Say it. I have what it takes.
And that's an original song by Ellen Rogers and Keith Vivens. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We love that. And we love getting to be here with all of you today and to share this very special Volunteer Appreciation Day. And I'm going to open it up for just a moment to just talk a little bit about, what it means to, to come into this time that we're in. and where we're moving forward, because this is an important crossroads time. Have you noticed that in the world, in your own lives, in things that had occurred in the past are no longer what's working for you, and we're at a time of creating a new reality. And that's true everywhere, and it's true in our ministry as well. And I think I've told you before that, you know, when we were doing some work with the board, we pulled out one of my favorite books on leadership called Science and a New Leadership by Margaret Wheatley. It's not a new book, but it's a powerful piece of material. And, you know, when we are looking at our volunteer appreciation, we're looking at what our ministry is all about. Who are we? What is it we're doing? What is it that wants to emerge in this new time? We got to look at, you know, how, first of all, our own hearts and souls have been touched by this village. You know, we've said it takes a village to create a ministry and to live into it. And you are that village that has kept it alive. You know, we know many ministries have actually closed their doors during this time. And ours, that's not happened, right? We've stayed present. We've stayed present with one another. We've lifted up that those that could step up and serve have done even more than ever before. And in this time of change, Margaret Wheatley talks about that that during a time in any organization or any living organism, it may come to a time of dissolution. And she says, and that's what we've been in, right? We are dissolving the old in our world and in our systems, in ourselves, and the ways that we've operated in the world. And she says that the natural dynamics of simple dissipative structures teach the optimistic principle of which we tend to despair in the human world. She says, the more freedom and self-organization, the more order. I love that. She says, this is for me the most illuminating paradox of all. The two forces that we have placed in opposition to one another, freedom and order, turn out to be partners in generating healthy, well-ordered systems. Effective self-organization is supported by two critical elements: a clear sense of identity and freedom. In organizations, if people are free to make their own decisions, guided by a clear organizational identity for them to reference, the whole system develops greater coherence and strength. The organization is less controlling, but more orderly. And we are in this. She goes on to say, we learn the important lessons about how change happens in living systems. Don't we know that plants and the living systems of our earth are what are teachers of ours, and that we're learning from them every single day, from our Mother Earth and from the growth and the movement? She says, when the system is far from equilibrium, I think I have shared this quote before, singular or small influences can have enormous impact. Well, we've all been far from equilibrium these last couple of years, and yet what we've known is that those small impacts are happening. She goes on to say, all life lives off balance in a world that is open to change. We do not have to fear disequilibrium, nor do we have to approach change so fearfully. Instead, we can realize that, like all life, we know to grow and evolve in the midst of constant flux. There is a path through change that leads to greater independence and resiliency. We dance along this path. Woohoo! We love to dance along the path by maintaining a coherent identity and by honoring everyone's need for self-determination. See, unity teaches us self-determination, that we choose to understand, to live the principles as we talked about last week. And as we considered all this at our board retreat, we really got clear about looking at things all new, to saying, what if we looked everything anew? And it was interesting because we did look at things from the old ways we've always looked at them first, and then we went, it can't be same old, that won't work, that won't have life to it. It motivate us, let alone the rest of all of us. And we shifted from that place of having our usual things of looking for financial stability, church growth, all the things that are on the list usually, right? And we ended up coming up with two key priorities. Now, under that are many other things that are the expression of those, but the key priorities for this ministry right now are resource development, resources, all the resources that we have, and capacity building. How do we build the capacities of what we have to offer in ourselves, in our world together? And that got us all very excited in that process. And the first place that we looked to say, what is our top priority? It was about honoring and acknowledging and working with volunteer development, because volunteers are the lifeblood of this ministry. And so as we do this, we are recognizing that volunteer development has always been important, but not more important than now. And so it's so perfect that we are having our volunteer recognition at this time to acknowledge and honor and recognize the lifeblood of this ministry that is here within each of you. And to help me do that today, we're going to bring up our current volunteer development coordinator, and Amy Grableski. And Amy also, so many of you may not know Amy's history. Come on up for Amy, and she's going to join me up here. All right, and thank you, Keith. We are so grateful. Oops. We can do that, or we can give you the handheld. Yeah, let's do the handheld so you don't have to reestablish the stage. Thank you, sorry. And what we want to do at this time is to acknowledge that Amy, in her many years, she's going to tell you a little of her own history, but she's been a board member. She's been over the youth and family ministry. She has been a prayer chaplain. She is currently over all of the daily word and platform people. And she's also, I don't think we have time to tell you all the things that she's done in this ministry, and has done training for many of us in various ways and worked with us on lots of ways of bringing life to this ministry. And she is truly an example as the volunteer development coordinator. There's no better role because she knows what that's all about. So welcome, Amy Grableski.
Thank you very much for such a warm welcome. And you know, first of all, as a volunteer coordinator, the first thing I'm going to do is remind you of how valuable volunteering is, both to you and to the people that you serve. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but some of you newer folks may also be thinking, how could I get more involved? And we're going to talk about those things and how it will bless your life. That's all I can say. It's blessed my life. I promised myself I wouldn't cry, so I'll not go too much into that, but it is an incredible blessing. And I think one of the things I really want to say is volunteers are not only the lifeblood of the church, they're the connection blood of the church. There's nothing like being on a team to bring you in strong connection with other people. And it's one of my favorite things about volunteering. We get things done. We have fun, we grow spiritually, we care for each other, and we express spirit within ourselves and to each other. And I want to start by sharing a little bit about my story. I know I look way too young for this to be true, but I came here for the first time to this church 22 years ago with Mark and I, my husband Mark, and our 9-year-old son in tow. And we were looking for somewhere where our son could really grow and learn. So I was really focused and interested in the children's program. So my first volunteer position was as a teacher. I volunteered to be a teacher. And for those of you who I know, like Sue Davis is sitting right there, so many of us have been, it is one of the richest, best ways to learn about unity. You know that? Because by teaching the lessons, you not only teach them to the children, you learn them yourself, and you learn a lot about it. The other thing is, if any of you are fun-deprived adults like I used to be, I thought, I'm not creative enough. I can't do it. Yes, I could. And some of my favorite creative things that my 31-year-old son now, and we created together, I still have them. And I grew, it was a gift because I grew to be so much more creative than I thought possible. The other thing I want to say is it's a joy to watch children grow. Sue Davis, sitting right there, grandmother, when you first brought Story in Phoenix, Story, I don't know if you remember, but she was a toddler, and Phoenix had to be preschool, right? I don't even know she was in preschool yet. Yeah. You'll probably see them later. Story and Phoenix have blossomed into these beautiful leaders. Mm-hmm. Yes. And Phoenix even serves as a chaplain for the youth. Isn't that amazing? Where's Owen? Owen, when I first met Maya, Owen's daughter, she was in diapers, Owen. I don't know if you remember that. And she's now in college. She also developed all kinds of leadership skills in our youth programs. And in fact, Owen still helps support the youth groups go to rallies. And so sponsoring is another great way to serve and a lot of fun. So I wanted to mention that, and the leadership abilities. So another thing I wanted to mention was the importance of chaplains. I've been on both sides of that. And by the way, if you're even remotely considering it, remember the chaplain, for those that want to be chaplains, or if you just want to learn about affirmative prayer, it's a real core piece in unity. That class would be perfect for you. And Bruce, where are you? Just raise your hand. If you have any doubt, talk to Bruce. He was one who went to a chaplain training, or actually about prayers, and now he's still a chaplain. Look at all those years later. So the other thing is chaplains can help you lose weight. I'm serious. I'm very serious. Just the other Sunday, I was back there in that room with Trish Weir. Trish, I hope you're watching. And I swear I came out at least 5 pounds lighter, relieved of so much burden of fear and anxiety. I promise it works. You will come out lighter. So you got to check that out.
I love it.
Another thing that's really cool is if you want to stretch, then it's a safe place to take risks. And I speak from experience, let me tell you. Because when you first go into some leaderships, or I'll speak for myself. When I first went into some leadership roles, let's just say I hadn't developed the skills I thought I had. And there is nothing like learning with groups of people who are like-minded, who are committed to their own spiritual growth. And I'm not saying it's perfect or not uncomfortable sometimes, because it is, because that's what growth is about. But I've never worked with people who are more committed than in this church, in any leadership position I've had, which has been several, board, team leads. And I want to also say that working with the staff, working with the people that provide services to us, they're volunteers too. Jackie, right back here, Lawson is an example. She's been devoted to this church for so many years. She helps us with our finances. I don't know how many hours she spent with working, thank you, to support our people. Yes. And Ellen and Kyra, I mean, they'd make minimum wage if they charged, by the hour. So, yeah, maybe less. So we want to acknowledge them as well. Another thing I want to mention is if you don't really want to stretch so much as just do your thing and enjoy yourself, you can do that too. I'm on the AV team, which are exceptional people, technology people back here, yes. And I want to say that's one area I have chosen not to stretch much. Carol probably is thinking, why didn't you want to cross-train? Well, I want to stay in my little thing. But I tell you, Captain Carol Curtis, she stepped up when we lost some of our key people in terms of expertise. And Brent, oh my gosh, Brent, what would we do without you? Who came and helped us with their expertise. Carol jumped right in, talk about jumping in the pool, right? And learning and teaching all of us. Just the other day, I had a leak happen, and all I had to do was text my buddy, Ronnie Kennedy, and say, can you cover for me on PowerPoints? And she said, sure. The other day, I saw a ton of texts going back and forth because people just reach out and they help each other. It's so easy when you have teams like that, and it's so fun to be on them. Let's see. Okay, and then I just want to say one other thing, and that is a couple of quick plugs. If you're interested in getting to know people, one of the great ways to do that is greeters and ushers, which we have another wonderful, marvelous group of people. And then Jeannie Mustachia is team lead for the bookstore. How much fun is going into the bookstore and showing people jewelry and books? And we're looking for volunteers. So those are a couple things I just wanted to mention. So whatever you're interested in learning or exploring, this is the place to check it out. And I encourage you to do that. And so speaking, we're going to introduce the first of our volunteers that are going to come up and give a little testimonial, Sylvia Hicks. And Sylvia serves on the board, finance team, fundraising. She's been on all kinds of things here. So let me shut up and let Sylvia talk.
Thank you, Amy.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes. Amy said everything I was going to say, so now what am I going to say? I came to Unity 19 years ago, a little shorter time than what hers is, and I love the church. I love the sense of community and the message. And so I started volunteering right away. I've been the usher greeter. I've been on that team for about 15 years. It stopped right as COVID came. I quit being on the greeter team. That was always my favorite thing to do. I've been a prayer chaplain for a short time. I've served on the board twice. I've been a Sunday school teacher, which was very growth producing. And I've served on countless committees. The best part of volunteering is the connections that I've made with people and the friends and the growth. This is something I don't normally do, is get up in front of people and speak. So this is really a growing for me to be up here right now. I've always volunteered somewhere my whole life. But volunteering here has been it's more special. This is my favorite place to volunteer. So maybe all are volunteers, or some of you are volunteers already, but if you're not, I would suggest that you find something you'd like to do and help us out. Thank you.
So one of the things that we want to say today is that, we're trying to acknowledge a few of you, but we know we're not going to speak every name or acknowledge, because there's so many. We would keep you here all day if we were to mention everybody that's done so many different things volunteering. And yet we want to, as much as possible, help you know that we recognize that the different ways that you give are sometimes not all that visible. Sometimes they're very visible, but other times they're behind the scenes, and it may be that you're holding the consciousness, you're doing work behind the scenes in various ways for this ministry, and we want you to know that we do see that, and we acknowledge it. Pat and her mom are here who made all of the stoles for the prayer chaplains, and if you haven't seen, they're beautiful, very professional. They've purple on one side, gold on the other, and there's little ways that people have served along this time. And we're here to share some of the stories because they've touched our hearts. When I look out and see your faces and I walk into this door, I experience all the ways so many people are the lifeblood, are the connection, are the ones that are making this ministry possible. And I know I get a lot of credit because I speak on Sunday and I'm in a visible role, but it really is about all of us. And so, when I walk in, and every time Nellie Madrano walks into that door, she's in the kitchen doing something, preparing food, cleaning up. Nobody, she's not on an official team, and yet she's there, stepping in, finding something she can do. When I step out of my car, and Daryl Matula has put little pavers down to make the sidewalk wider so that it's easy to walk to the end of the church. There's so many little ways that you may not have any idea. Our board president, Roger Moorfield, was out a couple weeks ago at the music festival. He was representing Unity Bay Area Houston out there at the Chamber of Commerce booth so that we can be a part of this greater community and visible in the community to all the ways that we serve. There's so many ways that people are making a difference. You know, you may not hear about Trish and William Weir and Dan Bridge and Ryan Ruffiner that go out and have gone out and worked with the prison ministry out at the Ramsey unit and have served those families reuniting out there. So many of these things that happen are behind the scenes, and yet each time you're making a difference. I can't tell you how many times Tom Kaywood has convinced somebody to be an usher or a greeter, or to take on a board role, or to participate in a study group, you know, and that Paul Hoggett is out there watching our finances and making recommendations. And for years, he supported a building committee and board and so many other things. And over the years, there are so many ways people have participated in this ministry in bringing the lifeblood together. Those that are expressing, you know, by coming and sharing at the women's ministry and bringing their gifts and awareness, or those that are, you know, offering workshops and classes and presentations. I mean, the list goes on, and we're going to acknowledge all of you. But it's Susan, I love that Susan Devine Napoli couldn't be here today, but she told me she'd be watching online, and she's somebody who just stepped up and said, you know what, I'd love to be a presenter at the women's group. I have this to offer. And it's been beautiful what she's offered there. The oneness blessing givers that come here, and every Sunday they're in there offering blessings, or at our special events, and that do that online as well. I mean, it goes on. The ushers and greeters, you know, Domingo stepped up when I think Tom stepped down from the usher and greeter lead, and Gail and all those, and that what happened is he's okay, there's a need here, I'll fill it. Not to say it was his greatest passion, right, Domingo? And yet he took on that team and kept us having people at the doors that welcome and kept them alive and kept us alive with that. And I just think and Sandra and Maria, who have been nonstop, you know, and Gail. Gail has done so many roles, I don't think we could possibly mention them all, you know, along the way. So we want you to know that, you know, we recognize there's this tremendous amount going on. And Amy's got more to share about that, because we've only touched on a few of the ways that you all are volunteering.
Just one quick one. We've all experienced the last 2 years what it's been like to not be as connected and to have to deal with hard change at times, right? And again, I want to remind you, this is the safe place to practice. An example of how we did that was, remember when nobody knew what the heck Zoom was? Yeah. You know? and we wanted to learn about it. And so Don Pence and Don Davis and Mark Robleski and we got together and we did some Zoom classes, you know, and that was so much fun as a service, and we were learning something valuable at the same time. So if there's something you want to do, you know, like maybe you'd like to develop something, talk to me and we'll see what we can create, you know, because when there's a need, then people step up, and that's what we'd like to see happen even more. I'm going to go ahead and ask for our next wonderful volunteer who is going to, Dawn, where are you? There you are. Dawn Pence is going to give us a little testimonial.
Hi there. So I started coming to Unity Bay Area 2 years ago, and the first time I attended a Sunday service, I could feel the loving energy that many of us feel here. And it didn't take me long to want to connect with you all and to help support this ministry. It was nothing like anything I've ever felt before. But I was nervous, and I didn't know what to do to connect. And then COVID happened, right? Y'all remember COVID? Yeah. COVID happened like a month after I started coming here. And everything shut down physically, right? We were still connecting online, but you know, I'm sitting at home and I'm watching. And then I saw that they needed volunteers to read the daily word. And I thought, well, I could do that. And so I did. I felt loved and I felt supported here. And I decided to stretch myself a little more by volunteering to Platform. I was okay being a little scared and knowing I might not do it perfectly, because this space feels safe to me. It really does. And not only did it get easier, but it also got more fun. I relaxed into my volunteer work, and I opened myself to Spirit for guidance and other ways to serve. So as many of you know, I've now taught workshops, I've led activities, I became a prayer chaplain, which is still a surprise to me, because I went into that empowerment class, the one that's coming up in June, just wanting to learn about prayer, and now I'm the prayer chaplain coordinator. But I'm delighted now to be serving on the board as your treasurer. What made me want to serve this ministry is the welcoming energy we have here. There was never any pressure for me to do anything. But I've gotten so many gifts from my service here, not only getting to know so many of you on a more personal level, but also I've developed skills that I can use outside this church. So if you're new to Unity Bay Area, or you haven't yet gotten involved in one of the many ways that you can serve, I encourage you to check out the volunteer opportunities. Because in doing so, you may see, like I did, that this isn't just a place to go, but it's also a place to grow.
And we're going to move directly into the next testimonial because we have a lot to still do to acknowledge everyone. Sarah Thompson, will you come up and share your testimony here too?
The volunteer whisperer, Sarah Thompson.
Well, mine isn't so much a testimonial, but a story about our garden. And it began with Paul Hoggett and a group of about 9 men that tore down a huge fence that ran along the pond. It was about 8 feet tall. It was chain link fence, and it was full of vines and trees, and you couldn't hardly see the pond from the church. So that was the impetus of the garden tenders. Daryl asking if he could clean around the pond once the chain link fence went down, and of course we said yes. And so Daryl got a friend, and together they cleaned a path all the way around the pond. So it is a beautiful walking path now, and he has maintained it low these many years. So Fran Ring, who is not here today, she was my first buddy garden tender. And she and I put in a vegetable garden, which is now gone, but we grew vegetables and enjoyed coming out here. Let's see, it was Andy McGavin that came and helped when he was here. And so we had our little garden and just grew vegetables. Of course, people came and mowed and things like that. And so that kind of grew, and other people started coming. And then we became the garden tenders. And we recruited, and so we have Pauline, Ronnie, Mary Helen, Diane, Lindy, Maria, Owen, Larry, and Daryl are our group of 10. We come out and we share in pulling weeds. We plant. We love to be in the garden. And we have a lot of fun. We sit and visit, and like Amy said, it's a wonderful time to socialize, to get to know one another on a whole different level than you do here at church. So if you are at all interested in plants, we meet on Wednesday morning. I'm thinking of moving it to 8 or 8:30 since it's getting a little warm. But Wednesday at 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock, we join and just have a wonderful time, really, a very spiritual time out in the garden. So, namaste.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And, you know, at this time, we're going to invite all the team leaders, anybody who's a leader of a team. If you think you might be, come on up here. We want all of our team leaders up here because there are so many teams in this ministry that make a difference. And, you know, without you, we couldn't do this. And we want to acknowledge you as leaders and then also to invite you to acknowledge your teams as well because these folks have stepped into leadership roles. And we're so grateful because this is the lifeblood, as we said, of those that have been willing to stretch themselves and become a leader. Yeah, we'll move out of the way so y'all can be up here. So do y'all want to just take a moment? We're going to pass the mic and just acknowledge your team quickly. Go ahead, Carol. Give it a start.
Thank you for the audiovisual team. I'm glad you've all been able to cross-train and be there for all of us. Thank you.
Let's give some, y'all stand up if you're part of the audiovisual team. Anybody that's on that team, please rise. Let's acknowledge you. Thank you.
Paul Hoggett, Finance Committee, and all my Finance Committee that's here, would you stand up?
Yeah. Thank you so much. We're so grateful for all of you.
The only one that's not here is Curdy, and she was out of town this weekend.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul.
Hi, Ronnie Kennedy. I facilitate the World Community for Christian Meditation on Tuesday nights, and Dan is always there, and John back there in AV, they always come and meditate with me. Christine Seaman, meditation. And we even have people, of course, that are, you know, on Zoom, so it's across town. We have people that come and join us too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, so I'm Dawn Davis and facilitate the Abraham group and also the Oneness group. So if you've come to the Abraham, please stand so we can acknowledge you.
Yeah. Woo!
And also my Oneness people.
Yay!
There you all are. Thank you.
And Don's also a prayer chaplain. Yeah.
Well, I'm Jeannie Mustascia, and I am the team leader for the bookstore. And I need some volunteers because it's just me right now, and if I can't be here, that bookstore's closed. And that's not a good thing. Bookstore is a blast. It is so much fun because people like to come in and visit, and I change the jewelry around, and everybody's excited to come and see what's new, and you know, like all that kind of good stuff. So I really could use a volunteer or two in the bookstore.
Yeah, thank you, Jeannie.
I lead the meditation on Tuesday morning at 9:30, and I'm also the garden tender lead. Would all my tender gardeners stand up, please?
Yeah.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dawn Pence. I'm the prayer chaplain coordinator. And if all the prayer chaplains could stand up, we have prayer chaplains that serve both in person and over the phone. So just know if you're more comfortable with that, that's another way that we serve our ministry. I'm also the coordinator for the count team. So the count team counts the abundance that we receive each week in this ministry. So could the count team members, these are our board members, our current board. And it's also past board members or others who are familiar with the count. So thank you all for the many ways you serve.
Hi, I'm Sylvia, and I am the facilitator for the Highly Sensitive People group and also the fundraising committee. And the fundraising committee is Retha, it is Eugenia, and myself, and Katie, and who else? You're going to be there too? Good. All right, so, and we're working hard to try to have some fun raising funds.
Domingo de Parra. I am the facilitator for the welcoming team. Please, the welcoming team, Maria and Owen, Sandra.
Yeah.
Sylvia. We're here every morning, every Sunday, and if you have any questions about unity, please come to visit with us. It's our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Roger Moorfield. As board president, I'd like to acknowledge our board members, Sylvia, vice president, Dawn, secretary, Katie.
Treasurer.
Sorry, Dawn, treasurer, Katie, secretary. Thank you, Katie. Also, Merite and Bruce as at-large members. Thank you, board. Please stand up, Bruce, and be acknowledged. And thank you, Unity Bay Area sisters and brothers, for your support. We really appreciate you, and we want to serve you in every way that we can. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.
I'm Tom K. Wood. I'm representing the Unity Men's Group. We pride ourselves on having no leadership, and we did not until Ellen stuck this sticker on me a while ago. And also, I'm involved with the book study that starts at noon on Sundays, and we're talking about Conversations with God.
Thank you.
There are some groups that are so important to our ministry that as things have shifted and changed, staff has taken on as volunteer positions within staff. So I'm going to speak on 3 of those things. The first is youth ministry. Wendy Hoggett is in charge of getting the volunteers for that team. And as kids are coming back, as we're all coming back, it's wild. I walk in here and expect things to be exactly the way it was pre-COVID. I'd like to go back. It's January 2020, and everything's the way it should be. And that's not the case. So that means if you have an interest, if you have a love in your heart, if you would like to really learn from the teachers, youth ministry is a fabulous place to serve. So please, I encourage you to see Wendy Hoggett, and especially after Amy's testimonial about youth ministry. It's life-changing. I'm a 3rd grade youth ministry teacher, and I was trained by Brandon to do Uniteens at Unity Houston. I had to call you out there. The second is the women's ministry. Every month we get together, and we have, Judy Hoggett did it for years and years and years, opened her house the first Monday of every month to all the ladies. And to get Paul out of the house so he didn't have to deal with all those ladies, the men went out to dinner, and thus we got the Unity Men's Dinner Group and the Unity Ladies. So there are several women who have stepped up and hosted. We now have it here. We can have it in someone's house if they'd still like to do that. But we're really, Unity Women's Ministry and Potluck is what we're calling ourselves. Now we have a spiritual activity, we have a service activity, we have lots of fun together, we still share food together. If you are interested in hosting or being a part of the setup and the tear down, supporting that in any way, please come see me or text me or email me. And I would love, like I said, this is a position that would be a normally congregant volunteer position. It's now my volunteer position, and I don't have anything else to do with my time. The third piece of the puzzle, which I'll go very quickly, is the people who come to us and want to give workshops and give us special events and concerts. There are so many of you that have come to me over the years that have said, I really want to be a part of this. I have this gift that I want to share. Whether it's to a specific community or open to our church, we've been gifted over the years many, many times with people who have a teaching. And just recently, Rebecca Marina was one of those people, and we did the vision boards together. And where a vision, individual visions and a collective vision for the church was created. So if any of those three things inspire you, please hold us in your hearts, and we love, love, love to see you in the future.
All right. There's more.
And platform team and daily word readers, would you all please rise so we can acknowledge you?
Yay.
Thank you.
And And I want to just acknowledge for a minute that we also have many, many other roles and many group presenters. How many of you have been like over a group? We've got the Edgar Casey group. We've got other groups. If you're a group presenter or over a group at all, would you please rise for a moment and let's look at all of those as well. All right, anybody here? Yeah, there's several of you that have led groups, Meryl and all you. We want to acknowledge you. And let's take a minute to acknowledge everyone that's been a volunteer. If you've volunteered in any way in this ministry during your time here, please rise. I know John V's done all kinds of roles all along here. Look at this. How many volunteers? Derek, you're a poet. You've written poetry for us. You know, there's been so many ways. Look at this. We are a place of, there's many of you that are not standing but could be. And what we want to do is we want to acknowledge, and you all, let's give all our team leaders a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for your leadership. And we're going to invite you back to your seats, and all of our kids are bringing in a special gift that we have for all of you. All right? So come on and sit back down, and they're going to be sharing some gifts out here. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? We want everybody to get ready for summer. Are you ready for summer? All right. We have a beautiful beach ball for each of you, and it's in the form of a world. All right, and in that it also says on it, thank you for being a light in our world. And we want you to know that we really recognize you light up our world, but you light up the world at large. And we are grateful to each of you. And there's one for everybody. Whether you've been a volunteer or not, you get to take a beach ball home. What? Been a volunteer or you're going to volunteer? Whether you've been a volunteer or you might volunteer in the future, take one of these home because we have a lot and we're ready to share them with all of you. And we are so, so grateful for each of you. So we'll get those out. Everybody, you got to make sure everybody has one. All right, y'all, make sure everybody has one. No matter where you've been or what you've done, take one of these home. We also have another special gift. All right, we're going to make sure everybody's got one. Whether you've been a volunteer or not, take one of these home. Share them with your families. Play with them in your pools. Give them out to kids in the neighborhood, whatever you want to do. And we want to acknowledge our music team, too, because they give above and beyond continually. So Keith Vivens, Patty Rabaza, Ellen Rogers, we're so grateful for your music and all the ways you give as well. And let me tell you about one more gift. All right. So everybody's got their ball. So fun. You got the whole world in your hands. That's right. And yeah. Definitely take these home. All right, then on your way out, you have another gift, is that there's a beautiful bag that everybody's going to receive. And I happened to find these at Marshall's, so they do say Marshall's on the side. But they made them for us because it says hands coming all over it, and it says, unity is our strength. So thank you. So let's take a moment. We're going to take time for our offering now. And thank you for your patience with this today. We so honor. And we also have cake and some chips and dip and goodies for you after the service to celebrate today. And we're grateful to be back in that time when we can share food again, right? So let's share our gifts now by sharing our offerings. And together we'll share our offering message. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. Well, our kids went back out, but we want to say thank you to them for bringing the balls in for us. And we know there are many ways to give, and so you know that, and all those online, we appreciate your gifts as well. Take it away, Keith and Patty.
You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings. And with every step you take, success, the progress that you make, the reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. This day brings, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you. Raise your arm, put a little pat on your own back for all the amazing things you've done and will do. And let's do our blessing together. We celebrate divine abundance. We gratefully live, breathe, and experience abundance and generosity. Thank you, God, for the flow of resources through our ministry to bless the world. We rejoice as all our prayers are answered. We are grateful, blessed, and prosperous. Yes, we are. So do remember that we have different groups that are happening. On Sunday, there's a Conversations with God book study at noon. We have on certain Mondays, there is a highly sensitive people. And the sign-up sheets for these are over here on the left side. The Edgar Casey study group on Thursdays, on the second and fourth Thursdays. So find out about the many groups that we have going on and join and participate, because there's a lot happening that can connect you to others. And thank you for all the ways you volunteer. There will be a prayer circle after the service up here. Roger will lead, and Sarah will be available for prayer back there. And let's stand up and sing our closing song. Thank you for your patience today. I know we're way over time, but so much to celebrate.
shine. One light flavor is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love that makes you and me. 'Cause God is all there is. God is all there is. God is all there is.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Help me give some extra love to Amy Grobleski for helping me with this presentation today. Thank you. God bless you all. Have a great week, and we speak together. Yay, God!